Sure. I'm Jess Williamson. I'm a director with Techstars, and I work across our fintech programs globally.
So you're starting a fintech accelerator program in Africa, in Cape Town specifically. Tell me what that's about.
Yes, so we're starting a program in Cape Town. Basically, we're looking at new financial technologies relevant for emerging markets. So it will be a mix of investing in companies, whether it's payments, lending, cryptocurrency, cybersecurity. And we're looking all across the continent as well as all across the world for people developing interesting fintech companies for emerging markets. The program will run for 3 months in Cape Town. So applications are open now, and basically we'll be investing in 10 different startups globally, moving to join us in Cape Town starting in March of 2016. And then we'll run a very intense 3 months helping all of those startups move their companies forward, getting their technologies built, launched, getting their customers, helping those companies move forward as much as we can.
And you'll be opening your own space in Cape Town?
Yes, I've not seen the new office yet, but I'll be traveling in a few weeks to check it out. It should be very, very cool.
And what do you look for in startups that apply to the program? What are the kinds of things that you think, yes, this is likely to be for us?
Sure, so we start out initially looking at the team. I think anybody that invests in startups will understand the team is more important than the idea or the market or anything else you could look at. So we look at the founders. What are they made of? Do they feel like the ones that are going to win in this industry? A mix of, yes, are they passionate? Do they have the backgrounds to make this work? Their team dynamics, can they work well together? Sometimes we joke that we feel like psychologists trying to understand, is this team going to make it through, not just the good times, but the bad times? The leadership of the team, how they can take on board feedback, because we know we can bring a lot of resources to the table, but they need to be the type of team that can really soak it up and learn from it, make use of the mentors.
So that's one criteria.
Yeah, that's one criteria, sure.
What are the other sorts of things you look for?
When we say there's 5 criteria, it's often team, market, and then traction.
Yeah.
So we'll look at the market they're going after. Is it a big enough market? Is it interesting? Is there enough space if their initial product isn't quite right for them to pivot, move around, and find a significant angle that they can tackle? And then we'll look at traction. Usually companies have some sort of minimum viable product. When we invest in them, that's not always the case, but we'll look at what interest can they prove they've generated? Do they have any clients? What kinds of commitment are there? Are their users on board? And just try to judge from that what the appetite is and how far that team has been able to move.
So the successful applicants, what do they get from you and what do you give them in return?
So joining Techstars is a mix of seed investment. The companies move from across the world to join us in our office for 3 months. Normally the reason anyone comes is for the mentorship. So we'll bring in around 80 or so mentors who are entrepreneurs themselves, been there, done that, can help people avoid the mistakes that they've made. We'll bring in people that are experts from the finance industry, whether they've worked in different banks themselves. It can help with that more specific expertise. And we'll help the companies raise their next rounds of funding, depending what their needs are overall, as well as getting customers. Usually they're looking for a partnership with a big bank, and Barclays uses this as a way of fast-tracking innovation internally. So we'll help the companies explore partnership opportunities and see what's possible. In our last program, we've had 7 out of the 10 companies close deals with Barclays within 90 days. So we'll be looking to
do that.
Help as many of them as we can do the same in Cape Town for sure.
So what stake do you take in the companies themselves?
So we, as Techstars, take 6% equity in each of the companies. And that means that our interests are aligned to do whatever we can for those companies, not just for the 3 months of the program, but we say Techstars for life. So for the rest of that company's life, or even if the founders go on to do something else later, we will be motivated and incentivized to help them through the rest of their journey.
And what's the rate of exits that you've had from the companies you've invested in?
So I think across Techstars globally, we've invested in about 600 different companies. I believe about 89% have either been acquired or are still active.